everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to do a fill. Here I have my natural nails that I have filed down. I had clear builder gel. So I went ahead and cleaned my cuticles, filed them down, made them thinner so that I am now ready to go ahead and apply my fresh builder gel set. Fun part for today is I'm not just going to do a fill, I'm actually going to show you how to do baby boomer type nails, and I'm going to be using some new colors and new products from Kimberz Kreations. This one is the bright pink builder gel in a bottle, and she is now going to be carrying builder gel in different colors in these nice little pots. So I have the white in there, so I'm going to need the Kimberz Kreations gel applicator brush, which I have here as well. And a fun tool that we're going to use is also the precision tool, also by Kimberz Kreations. I'm going to use the silver end, that's the pointy end, and we're going to go ahead and get started. For this, we're also going to need a reliable LED or UV lamp. Mine happens to be 120 watts. I just happened to go a little crazy with the wattage. I found that it cures it very well. So make sure you have something that's at least 48 watts. And we're also going to need the Kimberz Kreations gel base and gel top coat. You don't have to use Kimberz, but obviously I love Kimberz, so that's what I'm using. And let me go ahead and zoom in and get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply gel base all over my nails. You do need gel base in order to get proper adherence of the builder gel to your nail. I have tried it. I have tried to put builder gel straight on my natural nail and it just peeled right off like nothing. So as soon as I, asked around and took a look at other videos, I quickly learned that you really need gel base on your nails prior to applying builder gel in order for proper adherence. So I make sure that I apply it on every part of my nail. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And after I apply the gel base on all my nails, I am going to go ahead and cure it for 30 seconds. Again, this is just the gel base that I'm applying. And I make sure I cover as much of my nail as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and cure it for 30 seconds. While my nails are curing, I'm going to grab the colored builder gel that I'm going to use for my backfill, and also as the mani that I'm going to do, because I'm going to do a kind of French boomer nail. This is a bright pink from Kimberz Kreations, number 21. It's a fairly new builder gel in a bottle. And I'm also going to be using the white builder gel in a pot. This application is fairly new as well. She does have the white builder gel in a bottle, but having it in a pot is something that is brand new. It's very recent. So those are the two builder gels that I'm going to be using for this mani. I want to be ready for the rest of my mani, so I'm setting up the tools that I'm going to use. I kind of like to use the cap as its little resting place. So I have the gel brush, the builder gel brush, sorry, and the pointed end of the precision tool ready to go for when I apply the white builder gel. Okay, so I'm ready to apply my colored builder gel. And this is where I like to show how I apply my builder gel. As you can see, I like to get it to build up to a little ball. There we go. And I use that little ball on my nail to push it around where I want it to go. This is where applying gel base really comes in handy because you now have a sticky layer to work on. So I just take that ball and I gently push it around where I want it to go with the gel brush. So I push it towards my cuticle line, I push it towards my side line, and I just keep wiggling it around wherever it is that it needs to go. And I also like to focus a generous portion of the builder gel towards the center of my nail, kind of building an apex. That way, because my nails are long, I avoid the risk of breakage, and I'm, kind of killing two birds with one stone, so to speak, where I'm doing my fill, I'm building my sidewalls, and I'm also doing my apex. And in this case, I kind of put a little too much, so no issues there. You can just scoop it right off and put it right back into the bottle, like so. And again, I just keep pushing around the excess wherever it is that I want it to go. And I'm not going towards my free edge because I'm going to apply some white builder gel in that area. So now I need my builder gel brush, and I also need the white builder gel. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop some of that, but I also need to be mindful that I don't need that much. So I'm trying my best to grab as little and also as much as I need so that I don't end up contaminating it. So in this case, less is more. And I'm kind of going to do like a little French. So I'm just going to put it on my tip and push it around towards my free edge on either side. And it looks really nice as a French. So I would say this is kind of how you would do a French with builder gel. So if you were happy with that, by all means go for it. But now, because I want to try to do boomer, I'm going to take the pointy tool end of the precision tool, and I'm just going to wiggle and swirl together right where the pink and the white meet so that I kind of create a little bit of an ombre look, and it looks more like that muted boomer look. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean up any messes or leaks and cure it for 20 to 30 seconds because I do want to apply more. And I also like to do this where I flip my nail upside down so that I can also help build some of that apex. I try to do it for a good 5 to 10 seconds and then go right into the LED light, and I cure for, like I said, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how much more builder gel I want to add to it. All right, so my pointer finger is partially cured, and I'm going to go ahead and move on with my middle finger. And I'm going to apply the builder gel just like before. I'm going to let it ball up, and I'm going to push it towards my cuticle line, my side walls, and focus any extra towards the center of my nail, creating an apex. And I intend on applying a second layer just like this over all of my nails. So right now I'm not really focusing on any kind of perfection, and it doesn't really matter if it's like perfect or not anyhow, because I'm not going for that strict, clean, crisp French line. I'm going more for a little bit of a boomer look. So it allows me to kind of chill and just focus on doing my backfill and getting the pink in the areas that I want it and getting the white in the areas that I want it. and swirling it around with a precision tool. And just like with the pointer, once I swirl it around, I'm going to cure my middle finger for about 20 to 30 seconds after I have flipped it upside down for about 10 seconds to kind of let, a lot of like gravity pretty much help and create more of that apex for me, because that apex is your friend, especially if you want to grow length, add durability, or if you have long nails, the apex really does help protect any breakage on your nail. Okay, so I have applied the builder gel on all 4 of my fingers. I have done 2 coats, and I slowed it down just a little bit to show my thumb, where I'm going again with the same ball method and spreading it around. And this is my first layer, where I'm going to push it around and not really focus too much on what it looks like towards my free edge, but definitely focus on the backfill portion. And once I apply the white, do a little swirl, I'll go ahead and flip my thumb down, upside down to build that apex a little bit, cure for about 20 seconds, and then come back and do my second layer. So here I am doing my second layer on my thumb, and I'm still applying the ball, but it's a very, very small amount, just basically to fill in any areas that I may have missed on my first coat. And I'm just more so doing a focused application. And once I do the pink, I'll do the same with the white and go ahead and swirl it around with my precision tool. Now, when I do the second layer, what I did not mention yet was that I cure my second coat at a 60-second duration. So when I am done, or I'm happy with what they're looking like, I cure for 60 seconds. And because this is my thumb and it's usually the last nail that I do, I'll cure this second layer for 60 seconds, and then I'll actually cure all of my nails for an additional 60 seconds so that I am 100% sure that my nails are fully cured. It may be a little bit of an overkill, but I just don't want to have any undercuring, because should that happen, it will obviously become an issue once I do my filing. And I do like to use a drill, so I need my gel to be 100%. So we're holding it upside down right now for a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and cure it for its final 60 seconds, and then an additional 60 seconds for all of my nails to just be 100% sure everything is looking great. As you can see, my right hand is naked, and I'm also going to do that off camera. Okay, so off camera, I already filed my right hand, and before I go ahead and file, I make sure that I use rubbing alcohol to wipe off the tackiness from my nails. And then I take the emery board and I go right on the sides of my nails, my sidewalls, and you see, clean off any excess gel that may have seeped over onto my skin. I do want to give you a big pro tip. When you're using a brand new nail file or emery board, you want to make sure you take an older one and scrub the sides of it on all sides, top, bottom, side, so that you don't cut yourself, because when they are brand new, oof, they are like little knives. So definitely avoid any frustration and any cuts by seasoning your file and just taking any old, or it could be a new one if you don't have an old one, to just kind of season the sides so they're not super sharp. These are the Kimberz Kreations nail emery boards. They're 80 grit, and I absolutely love them because they are very sturdy, and they really are my favorite ones to use when it comes to shaping my nails, especially on the sides and on my cuticle line, because they really just fit nice and tight, so I can get that nice crisp edge while also being extremely durable, because I am a bit aggressive when it comes to filing my nails. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of my nails. I'm going to fix the shape a little bit, definitely remove any excess builder gel that may have seeped to the sides, clean my cuticle area, and then I'll go ahead and grab my nail drill. Okay, so once I'm ready to grab my nail drill, I like to use a sanding band to shape my nails. This is an 80 grit, but you can also use a carbide bit, and I highly recommend to use that if you're not comfortable using the sanding bits. Again, this is an 80 grit or medium grit sanding band, and this is the carbide bit that I recommend. I recommend a smooth barrel, which is rounded at the top. This one is a fine one where, the sanding band is flat and straight, so you can cut yourself if you're not super careful. So if you're fearful or you're new at using your drill, I highly recommend a rounded top carbide bit in either a fine, or you can use a medium. Just be super careful that you're not over filing, because when you use, the coarser it is, the more it's going to take off. So just adjust your speed accordingly to achieve the look that you're going for. In this case, I am going to use the medium grit, usually also known as an 80 grit sanding band, and I'm just going to go around my sidewalls, my cuticle line, and really mostly on the top of my nail to smooth it out, take off any lumps that I may have created, or also any unevenness as well. So this is me just filing the entire nail to try to get it to be as smooth and pristine as possible. And this is also where not being super worried about what the white and the pink was doing looked like during application comes in handy, because I'm filing a lot of it off. So if on my second coat I put too much pink, hey, no worries. Chances are a lot of it's going to be buffed off right now, and I don't really have to stress about what it looks like. And the cool thing about boomer nails is that they kind of are just perfectly imperfect. So that's kind of why I didn't want to do a French, because you guys would have been like, that's not a French, Josie. So I opted to do the boomer because I know that I'm not super neat when it comes to my lines. And in this case, I kind of have a little bit of a mix of both, which I think is really cool because of the way that I applied it. So you can go either way with it. But again, just keep on going with your drill, or you can also hand buff this. You don't have to use a drill for any of this. Just make sure you probably want to use an 80 grit at first, and then go ahead with a 100 grit to kind of smooth it out even further. All right, so for now I am done with my drill, and I'm going to go ahead and take the 80 grit nail file again and really shape my nail. I go ahead and taper in the sides a slight bit more, and I sharpen the tip of my nail. I also like to go and buff the top of it a little tiny bit if I find that I was nervous to do it with the drill because I didn't want to over file it. So then I'll just hit it with my hand file. That way I don't have to stress too much about over drilling, because I can do that sometimes too. And that's sometimes a little bit of a pain, because then you gotta refill, or if you're like me, you just leave it alone and live with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and really fix my shape, make it pretty much exactly the way I want it, because this is it. I am going to top coat this after I clean my hands. So this is where, if there's any imperfection or something that really bothers me, I'd have to go back and apply more builder gel, or really buff it out if it's too thick or something, because I'm pretty much at the last steps here, where I'm just going to go ahead and top coat it. Okay, we are almost at the finish line here. So I am happy with the shape of both my hands, and I'm going to go ahead and get a buffing block and finish off the smoothing of my nails. Because it's builder gel, if there's any lumps or bumps, when you top coat it, it's going to be possibly noticeable if it's super big, but definitely you'll be able to feel it. And I am one of those people that loves to rub the top of my nails. And because I like to do that, it needs to be super, super smooth. If I feel a lump, I'm not happy. And that part frustrates me. I can deal with, a slight little over drill here or there, but for it to be lumpy, that's not cool for me. So I have a buffing block that I'm using, and it has an 80 grit side and a 100 grit side. So I first go with the 80 everywhere, and then I go really crazy with the 100 grit side to make sure that my nails are completely smooth. And I just every so often check and feel and make sure that they are extremely smooth, because however they feel now is how they're going to feel when you top coat them. This one is just like a generic buffer block, because I've gone through all of my Kimberz blocks, which are my favorite, but I abuse them to death very, very quickly. So this one, I don't know where I got it from, but it works just as great. But as you can see, I've also heavily abused this one as well. All right, last phase. Woo! Big tip right here. I like to use nail mats, and I learned this the hard way, and thank you to one of my dear friends. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but I highly recommend, to whatever surface you're using when you're ready to top coat, either wipe it down, put something else on top of it, or remove whatever it was that you were buffing on, because the dust is everywhere. And I cannot tell you how many of the gel bases or top coats that I've gotten little fine particles of dust, or basically nail dust on. This is also where I kind of thoroughly inspect all my nails, clip anything off that, may be kind of annoying, but that's it. I am ready to top coat. So I take a paper towel that I applied a heavy amount of rubbing alcohol onto, and I really wipe my nails clean. If this does not seem to clean your nails off enough, you are definitely encouraged to rinse your nails so that you can take off any of the fine dust particles off. A lot of the times I do that, and I actually did do that for this off camera. So I rinsed my nails, dried them really well, and then I went ahead and took the paper towel with alcohol to just really dry them, because you don't want them to be wet now either. And just like how we started, I am going to take the gel base, and I'm going to apply it just like how I apply actually all of my gel, is I take a little ball, push it towards my cuticle line, move it towards my free edges, and really try to get as much of my nail as possible so that when I do my top coat, it's pretty much everywhere as well. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for all of my nails. And once I apply base on all of my nails, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. Here, now that my base has cured for 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead to my top coat and I'm going to apply it to all of my nails in the same exact manner that I did the base, and try to make sure I cover as much of my nail as possible. And before I cure it, I will go ahead and clean up any of the excess that I may have gotten anywhere, which I will show you in a little bit towards the end of this little clip. Now that I have gotten the top coat on all of my nails, I go ahead and take usually the same paper towel that I used to wipe my nails clean. I apply more alcohol and I just go super tight with my other hand, since I have nails, and I clean any of the excess. But if you don't have nails, you can also use your precision tool, and you can take the pointy end, that's silver, or this is where I like to use the silicone end, and you wrap the same dampened paper towel around the tip, and now you just use that to clean the sides of your skin that may have gotten some either base or top coat. You just want to make sure that you wipe it off before you cure it. If you cure it on, it's not a big deal. You can usually just file it off with either a glass file or 100 grit file, super lightly. And lastly, you do your final cure of the top coat, which is for 60 seconds, and you are officially done with your mani. And here I am just repeating the exact same process by applying gel base on all of my nails, curing for 30 seconds, and then applying top coat and curing for 60 seconds while cleaning my skin around my nails, should I get any on there prior to curing. And that's pretty much it. Now you just admire your mani. I like to apply some cuticle oil, my favorite scent, whatever that may be at the time, and just stare at what I accomplished and make sure I'm happy with it, and I go ahead and proceed about my day. If you want to go ahead and do a dip mani over it, you're ready. You can do that too. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day.